No. We're live.
We're live. Oh, exciting. Oh, so nice. Live from Iceland.
Eastland.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is your podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now it just feels like I'm hanging out with a friend and knitting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just knit and talk. And,
That's what we do. I think we've made hanging out and knitting at home and in cafes like an Olympic sport.
It is.
We take it very seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an art form too, because some people can knit in public for like, I don't know, a moment, but like we can do it for like 8 hour stretches easily.
It should be like our full-time job to just like go into random cafes.
Yeah.
Have coffee, some avocados.
They should basically be feeding us just
for free
to provide
give us coffee,
environmental ambiance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep us caffeinated and fed.
Yeah, like when we went to Kex, I ran into my friend who works there. And she was like, oh, I love it when you guys come here. Yes. It's so cozy. Yes. I was like, yeah, can we get a discount?
Yeah, can we get like a punch card?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes.
Feed us.
Yeah, and that's a very Icelandic thing, I feel. Yeah. Or maybe just Europe land in general, where people let you hang out, or it's more common to go to a cafe or a restaurant and just chill. And coming from America, a lot of places are the opposite. Yeah. Where they're like coming up and giving you service and like, how can I help? Like trying to,
do you need anything? Do you need anything?
Make you happy,
but do you need anything?
Get out of here.
Yeah.
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 But here you can just hang out all day and they don't blink an eye. I felt bad at first when I did that. Like, oh, like I'll keep ordering things like every hour, and no, just get a latte and chill out.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should move a little closer.
So we've transformed Linda's living room into a Westknits extravaganza paradise. Yeah. By we transformed, I mean she did all the decorating.
Yeah, you just brought the snacks.
Yeah, I brought snacks. I brought the knit on my head, and I brought some hats and a sweater, but that's all I brought to Iceland this time in terms of knits. I only brought a few hats, really. Where normally I usually bring 3 bags and like a duffel bag with 40 pounds of knitwear to Iceland, but last time I left most of that here, so I didn't bring anything new.
I picked some of them up for like Vogue Knitting Live in New York and sent them to you. But I mean, you have some knits around. Yeah.
And like everywhere I go, I just see someone's sweater or scarf, so I can always just steal their or borrow their knits and be warm.
Totally. So what are you doing here now?
I'm just relaxing because I've been traveling and teaching like all last year. So I'm going to try to see what it's like to like live.
Have a life.
Yeah. So I've been swimming, I've been knitting.
Having a lot of coffee.
Having lots of coffee, which is like a coffee. Like I got to step up.
I need to train you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would knit even faster. Yeah, people here in Iceland, they don't mess around with their lattes. It's like, one every hour.
Like how much time did yesterday? Rosa was there. My best friend Rosa, she was knitting with us. She was there for what, 2 hours or something? I think she had 3 double lattes.
Yeah. I was like, why isn't she shaking? And she just builds up the immunity, I guess. I don't know. You're crazy, Rosa.
But I mean, you don't want to talk to Rosa before she has had like 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning, because she's like a zombie. You just can't connect with her at all. So
I can't relate.
So give her lattes.
Yeah, give her lattes.
She'll be fine.
Lattes and knitting. But yeah, I want to show a few of my hats.
I have one as well.
Yes. Okay, I just saw, what's her name? She took your Marled Magic class that we cafe knit with the other day.
Haldora.
Yes, Haldora. We ran into her a couple days ago and knit with her, and she was finishing lots of projects and looking for something new. And I had my hat, and she started it already. No, she saw us a couple days ago, and I saw her today at Roasters because she lives right there. And so she was knitting, and she was wearing her Marled Magic sweater.
Okay.
This is the Marled Magic sweater that she's talked about this already if you watch her podcast. But she was wearing hers, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah. I picked out all the colors with her.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And she has perfect tension, and it's gorgeous palette. So she was wearing that today. And that's another thing I love about Icelanders. It's the demeanor of you can chill out. People let you chill out in cafes. But she's wearing this stunning sweater like you're wearing, and just sitting there it's no big deal. I would be prancing and showing it off, or trying to I'm working for it. But people here can just oh yeah, I made this in a couple weeks.
Yes.
And it's a unique, one of a kind, gorgeous masterpiece. And I just hang out in it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But she started one of these hats.
Really?
The waving hat, and she was almost done. She started it this morning, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just looking at it yesterday with us.
Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, maybe I'll make that.
Yeah.
And when someone from Iceland says, oh, maybe I'll try that, that means it's going to be done the next day. It's they don't mess around.
No.
So yeah, it's the waving hat. And Linda made one in DK.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Arbor from Brooklyn Tweed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the colorway is called Nightfall or Nightwish. Night something.
It sounds right.
And the multicolored one is an Icelandic dyer, Vivid Wool. And this colorway is called Linda.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She gave it to me I bought her, she did an advent calendar with mini skeins, and I bought that. And when she brought it over, she gave me a skein of DK weight called Linda.
That's so nice. And it's just one skein of each. One skein of each color.
Yeah.
Half a skein.
Half
really.
a skein, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit bigger. This is Aran weight on a 5mm US 8. Wow. And you can do the brim any length you want. Ooh. It's the waving hat. It has all these short row waves. Wow. Oh my. These are La Bien-Aimée Aran weight. So with all my hat patterns and shawls, really, if it says to do it, this says worsted or Aran weight as the recommendation, which means you look at it and say, I don't care.
I was I'm going to do this in DK because, our hats are not the same size.
No, but check this out. You wear this one.
Yeah, I tried this one as well. You have to weave in your ends, Stephen.
I did. I just haven't cut them.
Oh.
I got scissors, finally. Yes. Oh, look, it fits. That's knitting.
So surprising.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what most of my hats are only one size. I don't believe in sizing hats more than 3 sizes max.
Baby, teenager, grown up.
Yeah. Or just go down a needle size. If you have a small head, just go down a needle size.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really simple, and it's short row waves. Waving hat. And the first time, I made this hat. Okay, it's weird. When you're knitting this hat, you're not really knitting a hat. It's knit flat, and I don't believe that hats should be knit flat in general, but whatever. I'm a man of contradiction.
I did it anyway.
Yeah. So the first, I was just I thought it was going to be a cowl. That's how half of my designs start. You just play with colors, and it could be anything. It could be a blanket, could be a cowl, whatever. Put the fabric on your head, and then
if it fits, it's a hat.
Yeah, and it almost fit. It was missing a piece.
Yeah.
It was missing. This is the first section that you knit these stripes. So when I put it on my head, it was missing that section. So I just picked up and knit that shape. So my head was covered. And then when I made it again, I wrote that as a full first section. So the first prototype was very puzzle piecey, collaged, but yeah, you knit it flat, and then you make 2 little seams, and then you pick up for the top and the brim. And this brim has a ear flap.
I like this. I need to make another one with ear flaps as well.
Wow. Ooh, styling.
Super styling.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And then you can make the
Yeah. So after I made the hat,
to go with it.
this I just released, but I made this over New Year's. Sometimes it takes me 5 months to release a hat pattern. So then I made this shawl.
How many times did I ask you about the hat pattern
Like
before
every
you?
month. And then I was like, well, I'll just wait till the fall because it's too late. It's summer. You can't release an ear flap hat in the summer. And then you're here in Iceland, and summer means it hails and snows and rains.
Yeah. I mean, I wore my
It's
hat
crazy.
like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Because I needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in Amsterdam, it could be like sunny during the day, and in the evening, you're like shivering.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in seasons. I just believe in reasons for looking stylish in knits any time of the year.
I have something in my eye. I'm sorry. Yeah, but
yeah,
then
this came next because I liked the hat. Short rows. So this is the Fading Waves. Ooh, shawl. Oh.
Sjal.
Sjal. Yeah, that's shawl in Icelandic.
Sjal.
Sjal. Sjal. This is DK weight. You did it on a 7 or like 4.5?
4.5.
4.5 millimeter with 4 colors, which doesn't really look like 4 colors because they blend together. It's Wild Card from Hedgehog.
Poppy.
From
Hedgehog.
And Fool's Gold.
Mm-hmm. And the border is in
Raku.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that means.
Does it mean anything?
It doesn't have to, but it does once you knit with it. You make your own meaning.
Yeah.
Sometimes with dyers colorways, I don't know what they mean, but I may have heard that word before, but I don't know the meaning of it.
No.
Like budgie, I used to not know what a budgie was. It was a hedgehog blue.
You live with one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like budgie the yarn. The birds are loud.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a small shawl, like a medium size. We don't go any smaller than this.
No. I like the size of this one. And I like, the feel of the DK weight as well.
And it knits so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like this probably took like a long weekend or something.
Yeah, I was binding off in Edinboro though. Because I was doing like 150 other things as well. But
yeah, Fading Waves. It's a quickie. Just one skein of each, 4 colors. And every section, like from far away, it looks like all the same. Like it could all be in garter. But there's there's garter and like little boop, 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 2 stockinette and 1 purl ridge. And this is the 2 knit, 2 purl ridges. And then garter again at the end. And there's a large size. So if you do like the huge schlankets, you can knit the large size. There's a huge extra wedge, which kind of takes this like twice as big if you knit that last section.
That becomes huge.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely beautiful like that as well.
If you knit the large size, I would do it in fingering weight.
Yeah.
Because if you did DK weight in the large size, you would be drowning, which is great, but yeah, fingering weight.
Drowning in yarn is always good.
It
works.
Yes.
Yo. All right. Have you ever seen this one?
When did you make that?
I made it for Caritas.
Oh, little baby.
Yo.
She's 11, 12.
12, but I made it when she was like 9, probably. That's 9 or 10. Yeah, she's used it a lot.
I only recognize one of the yarns. It's Pistachio, Hedgehog sock.
The rest is Yaku and Engleul, which they don't make anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked about Yaku before on your channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice. It's fingering weight, so you can mix it with all the hand dyes.
Yeah. It's really, really good. It's
solid colors.
This, which ones are... Yeah, the gray, the pale gray, and the antique pink one. Pink, not peak. Pink. And the blue. These 3 colors are Yaku.
Yeah,
I really love it. I use it a lot for if I need solids to go with all the speckly madness, it's my go-to yarn. Definitely.
And it's superwash, so
it's really good for baby knits
cool.
as well, and baby blankets.
Yeah. Gotta stick those babies in a washing machine.
Yeah. They get dirty.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, the company is Kamaros from Denmark.
Yeah.
So the whole palette of the Yaku is like Danish and sophisticated and like so harmonious. So you like grab any color and grab any second color and they work.
Yeah.
Because the palette is all this.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous range of colors.
And it has like these really, really, I think they have like 5 or 6 gray tones that kind of go with, like you can use them on the like together, or you can just mix them with anything. They're like really, really good, like base neutral colors to like tone things down a bit. I really like it. It's one of my favorite yarns.
Yeah, I think every yarn palette should have like at least minimum 5 grays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have your warm grays, your cold grays. Yeah. A lot of people think that I don't knit with gray.
You do. I've seen you knit with gray a lot.
Or it's just like hidden in colors. Because I think a lot of people think like, oh, it's like everything's crazy and rainbow. Like I can't, I would never knit with that. And then there's some people that were like, I will only knit like that. It's very polarizing color vibe. But I think there's some exceptions for sure. Like some psychotic rainbow outfits I've made. But I'd say almost everything that looks crazy colorful, like my sweater I made and all my rainbowy looking shawls, like there's usually 40 to 50% of neutral yarns in those palettes.
Yeah.
Because this one's super colorful, like yellow and green and purple, pink.
I love this one. I borrowed it in Edinboro because it was so cold and I didn't want to return it.
My friend Rag has been borrowing this one. It smells so good. I've learned that about knits when you like lend them out. If you ever let someone borrow your sweater, like makes like it's extra good if they have like nice perfumes.
Yeah.
Because when you get it back, it smells so good. The Marled Mania sweater. So even though there's tons of colors, there's like gray and dark black and silver colors.
What's pale black?
Like
no, because you said dark black.
Oh, like dark gray, like charcoal.
Yeah.
Dark black. I'm not familiar with. I guess I'm not that familiar with neutrals. It's light black and dark black and silver black. It's just black. Yeah.
Oh, I love this one.
And these marled, if you haven't done marling, like where have you been? It's so fun because you get to use twice the amount of yarn.
Yeah.
And if you're like us, you have a lot of yarn. Or
you just said that my stash was decent.
Yeah, it was very reasonable. She just gave me a tour of her knit cabinet, which is beautiful.
Her name is Gerda, by the way.
Yeah.
The cabinet is called Gerda.
Gerda. Okay. So it's very reasonable, but as I just said that, I'm looking to my left right here.
Oh, that's your fault.
I see 2 giant bags of yarn in the living room.
That's your fault.
It's not my yarn, is it? Oh, wait. Well,
this one is these are something that I'm giving away.
Okay.
And the other 2 are the ones.
Grab them.
Should I go grab them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a bag of yarn that's her yarn, but I forgot about a bag of yarn I gave her.
These are
2 bags that I gave her. Oh, oops. So this wasn't any of the yarn she had in her cabinet. So her collection was reasonable.
Until he came along.
But when I come over, it's like, knit with this.
Can you make this?
Oh. Sorry, Hoagie. Yeah, she lives with a non-knitter, so.
But he's really helpful.
He's used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, these are going to be some future sweater projects. Oh my god. These are some of my favorite new colors. Okay. Oh, this whole bag is Wok collection from Germany.
I'll help you.
And you've knit a lot with her yarn. Oh my god. Her whole palette, like if you look on her website, Wok collection, she has like over 100 colors and like the whole rainbow, like all the neutrals, like 10 shades of like pink and coral. So good. Semi-solid speckles. So these are all speckles in Cottage Merino is her single ply. And a lot of the hand dyers use the same single ply base, which is awesome. So you can like mix and interchange them. I don't know where she gets this one from though, because the Cottage Merino base is like extra plump. And like, okay, so you yarn freaks out there will like look at this and know that it's a little bit different. Like it's a little fluffier and it feels so buttery soft.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The most similar single ply to this is Tosh Merino Light that I felt. Like how fluffy it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. So these are all going to go into a new marled sweater that I have to finish writing. Yeah. But I've made one. So this will be like in the summer or fall.
Yeah.
A new sweater. And we're going to hold it with mohair. Oh, from Walk. This mohair silk.
I think this one is supposed to be in this bag.
Maybe. Yeah, this one's a La Bien-Aimée.
Yeah.
Oh, rusty goodness.
I think it belongs in the other bag.
Yeah,
or
I think so.
Do you want it?
We'll keep it in here for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then my favorite color, I think, is that one.
I got this one in Edinboro on her Tough Sock base.
Crazy. As soon as you think...
It's called Dreamcatcher.
Yeah. You gotta see it up close. It's like beigey, greenish, tinted, coppery goodness. And then the specks. It's like, one of those scrummy, like, what is the color? Is it beige? Is it green? It's everything. It's so cool.
I was really happy when I saw this in the back because I have the one that I got in Edinboro. And yeah, when I saw it in another base, I was like,
so pretty.
I can make this sweater.
So pretty. And this one is so good too. Ember, I think. Embers. So it's more black. It's a dark black. It's a silver black.
This is called Galaxy.
Yeah. Oh, so nice. More green. Yeah, I love the orange in this one. It's like totally burnt.
Yeah, and then there's some really cool like fuchsia purple parts here as well.
I love that. I think purple and pink as like a little speckle accent. Like I want that in every single color. Like, it's like not what you notice at first. It's mostly dark, but when there's pink or green or something that doesn't match the rest of the palette in a skein, that's when I think the colors sing and come to life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed that a lot. Like if I dissect all my favorite kinds of colors, if I look closely at them, there's always something that like doesn't really match.
Maybe I wouldn't use this, but when it goes in with everything else.
Yeah. It's like, because I like spicy foods. It's like adding spice to your yarn.
Yeah.
A little cayenne pepper to all the colors. Yeah. And we have this yarn at Stephen and Penelope as well.
And in my house, but it's not for sale there.
No. Your collection is basically, it's the shop in here.
Yeah, I mean, I have like an outlet.
Yeah.
From Stephen and Penelope.
Yeah, this is like the Icelandic outlet from Stephen and Penelope in Iceland. So a lot of these colors...
It's like a mix between Stephen and Penelope and Little Penelope, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta have a mashup.
Yeah.
So yeah, all these colors, most of them are online, but a lot of the newer ones, like Dreamcatcher, will be coming probably in our next. We get Walk collection about every month. So if you don't see any of these colors on the website now, in the next batch,
they're coming.
But we have
coming for you.
36 colors at least online at the moment.
Oh wow!
Oh nice. Yeah, this is gonna be a beautiful sweater.
Do you want to do the La Bien one spot or? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, more colors. Okay. So as soon as you think you've seen like all the colors in the world, I guess this is what it's like.
You go to Paris and
you find another skein of yarn that's also a color, but like it's a different shade of beige or like a more rosy tint. Like that's why.
Yeah, this batch was like, it's completely different from the one that I have at home.
Yeah. And if it's not, like I've gotten yarn too before, I'm like, oh, this is so special. And you bring it home and you have that color already. That happens a lot. But I still convince myself in my head, like, oh, but it's a new color. It's a little bit more rosy than the last batch. which is so great about hand-dyed yarns because
Mhm.
I like that variety.
Okay, we have some like variety here.
Okay.
We have La Vienne.
There's a lot of La Bien May. And then we're gonna mix it with a lot of chain fiber and hedgehog as well. Like the speckle, like neutralies.
This is La Vienne also. And this. And this.
Little
And this
coppery.
tiny little nugget here.
We love yarn nuggets, Linda and I. Mm-hmm. All the little orphan, little baby leftovers.
It's
adopt them and
it's the mother in us.
Mm-hmm. Just take them in. I don't have real babies, so these are my little pets.
It's like a bow tie.
Yes. Little leftover. That's gonna be a little pretty light stripe. So these are all gonna be marled as well.
Yeah.
For what I'm working on, some poppy.
Some hedgehog colors.
Yeah. Cereal. So all the new hedgehog colors that she came out with, it was like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
When she did Raku, Bollywood, Goblin, Kimono, Guppy, Dijon, and Cereal. I think that's all. And Method.
And something Forest or
Park Life.
Park Life. Yeah.
We don't knit with hedgehog much at all. We don't know those colors. I don't know.
If I reach.
Oh, what is that? Oh,
it's a hedgehog.
Speckles. How did that get there?
I don't know.
But I think of all the colors, I like the new dark moody ones.
Yeah.
But I think Cereal is my favorite of the batch. Like it's so understated, but it just has that lovely little oatmeal wash with the little purple and little bits of everything.
So cute. Pollen and fool's gold.
Because you have to put these in everything. This is one of those colors that you just have to.
It's like eat your vitamins.
Yeah.
Use your.
It's like there's no consideration. There's no does it match? Does it go? It's just you have to put this in everything. It's beautiful gold. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay, have you knit with this before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In the penguin, we'll show that next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Are you ready for me to say it? You don't know, but
no.
This is my favorite yarn, ever. At this moment, it's gonna change tomorrow.
For now,
no, it's my favorite because it's hard to pick your favorites, but there's just nothing else like it. This is the chain fiber baby Surrey alpaca. Okay, it's called melted baby Surrey, but it's melted the texture, not
It's not gonna melt off you or something.
It's like frothy.
It can totally stand
fibers.
the heat.
Oh, it can stand the heat, yes, and make you toasty. So it's really soft, and it looks very different. It's not superwash merino. No. Running away. So it's fluffy. It's technically a sport weight. So that's cool. But I don't care. Yeah, technically a sport weight, which means, it can be thicker, but I treat it like a fingering weight. If I stripe it with fingering weights, it's like DK too. If you want to do.
But you can totally play with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also. I think it would also be really, really cool to knit it on giant needles and make a mesh top thing. Yeah.
We have to do that, like a summer fuzzy,
and as
super
fringe.
open. Yeah. I did I did the S word. I did a swatch. But it's going to turn into something else. But I was playing on a 12 millimeter.
Okay.
And it was so gauzy open.
Yeah.
So it works really loose and really tight as well. But it's alpaca spun around wool and silk is the main thread. So it's really interesting. So it's quite strong. It's not just fluff, but the silk gives it that shininess. So the colors aren't just colors, they're an experience. This is it's called honeycomb, this color, but you can't describe it.
No.
It's not copper, it's not orange, it's not brown. It is a mood that you feel when you knit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dig into this bag. Soon as I finish my penguono, which will hopefully be tonight.
Yeah. I love this. And I'm knitting this right now. I'm going to give a teaser. This is what you're going to knit when I'm finished writing the pattern. So this is the same.
Well, I have to start, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least get started.
Yeah.
So it's the same fuzzy, and we're going to hold it together with a fingering weight. So this is Cottage Merino from Walk Collection, and like her turquoise oasis color, held together with red. Firaha from Ching Fiber. So when it's doubled, it's like so squishy and like dense and frothy and all the good adjectives. So this is going to be a relative to the Marled Mania sweater. It's going to be more open and swingy for summer, fall. Sometimes I just say a season and I don't really care. This is a sweater for a day that you want to wear a sweater.
That you need a sweater. I mean, sweater weather is
every day of the year in Iceland.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we get maybe like 2 or 3 days where we can get away with not wearing a sweater, but then it gets really cold in the evening usually.
Yeah.
So every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to work on this and hopefully finish. And I realized when I was knitting this that I invented time travel.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that knitting conscience.
Yeah.
That's speaking to you.
So I think this happens more with other people because they care more about their knitting. I mean, I care about knitting, but I'm not one that rips out. Like, I don't care enough to like, oh, there's a mistake in it. Like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Like
it's
make
a design
more
feature.
Yeah, but at this point, when I was making this, I didn't know exactly what I was making. So it got to the point of I kept making modifications, and it got to the point where like if I kept going, it would have like been like a foot trailing on the floor.
On
me. Yeah. Which is a lot of yarn, and I don't want to trip. So I made the realization that I had to rip out. So I don't recommend it, but sometimes it's the right thing to do.
But you ripped out a lot.
Yeah, like
this is almost as big as my head.
All of this color and all of this ball I ripped out. So I lost 3 days of knitting, which for me is like sinful. Because if I have to rip out a row, I'm like just pissed off. Like, I've wasted those 5 minutes. So yeah, I ripped out 3 days worth of knitting. And I was going to rip out all the red too. Because I was like, it's not right. I got to. But I made the red work. I kept that. So I lost 3 days of knitting. And when I decided to keep the red part, I gained a day and a half. So I like went back in time and then forward in time. That's, I cracked the code.
I think you're going to be so much happier with the finished item.
Definitely. Yeah. And in the long run, it's going to be less knitting overall.
Yeah.
Like I would have been doing twice as much.
Yeah.
Unnecessary knitting.
And not being happy with it.
And not being happy in the end.
Yeah.
Which you always know, I think.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're knitting something and you have that voice in your head, it's like, oh, maybe I should have made that choice, or well, maybe I should go back. And you convince yourself like, oh no, it's fine.
It's gonna be fine. I'll just do this and this and blah blah blah.
And sometimes it is like.
Yeah, but if it's like if the voice is like really loud,
it keeps coming back, that voice, which it did like every like 3 times a day. I had that voice. It was like, and then I'd make a change and like, I'll just do a double decrease instead of a single decrease, and that's fine. Oh, I'll just sneak in more decreases here and it'll work. But that voice kept coming back, and it was right.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be so much happier.
Mm-hmm. You named that little voice.
What did you
like
call
a know-it-all wizard or something?
Yeah, know-it-all knitting wizard.
Yeah, I think it needs like maybe like Stan.
Stan?
I don't know. It sounds like a know-it-all. No. If you're Stan and watching, you're not a know-it-all. You probably know better than us. So keep going on a project.
Maybe in a good way. I mean, you can be a know-it-all in a good way and also in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I made Hildur rip out. She was designing like her mystery knit along that just ended.
Mm-hmm.
She was designing it and she spread it out for me, and I was like, no, you need to like.
You changed it?
I just told her that she needed to. She was doing like increases in one direction, but they definitely should have been in the other direction.
Uh-huh.
It was like it wouldn't have made sense.
So basically, Linda is the know-it-all wizard.
Maybe the wizard should be called Linda.
Yeah, Linda, the know-it-all wizard. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Because you also told me when I was first knitting this, I was doing it in reverse stockinette, which I love. That's what the sweater is. And I did that because I love the purl bumps and because you're knitting in the round.
Yeah.
So this sweater, you knit the body inside out and you see the purl bumps. So I'm like, I want it to look just like the sweater, but this is flat. And I'm not anti-purling. I just don't like purling. No, I'm not anti-purling. I actually love purling. But I like knitting better.
But this is like a huge piece.
Yeah, this is going to be really long.
Yeah.
So it's like half of the knitting is purling, which it was fine. Like I was enjoying it, but I do know that I enjoy garter stitch more. So if you love purling, don't get mad at me. I also love purling. It's like I love ice cream and I love chocolate. Like if you give me a choice,
you'll take both.
I'll take both. With the chocolate covered licorice candies on top. Yeah, I'll take both. Yeah, so it's not I hate one or the other.
But you were like knitting this in reverse stockinette, and I was like, why aren't you doing it in garter stitch?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm doing it in garter. So the know-it-all wizard, Linda, was right.
Again.
The wizard strikes again. Have you ever had a project where you were working on it and you had that voice? And you like fought with that voice?
Yeah.
But that voice was right?
Yeah.
This is getting meta. It's like you're the wizard, but she had another little wizard whispering in her ear.
It hasn't happened in some time.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, definitely when I first started out as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially, I mean, it doesn't matter at all, I think, when you're doing shawls.
No. Yeah, I don't believe in gauge
it doesn't,
with shawls.
No, it doesn't matter at all. I mean,
it's gonna be big or bigger.
Yeah.
Like it can be too small.
Yeah.
Then put it on a baby. Like it's fine for something.
Yeah. I mean,
if it's too big.
Or you can add to it. Or you can definitely play around with shawls. It's not like they go on your body and have to fit.
Yeah.
And you can just like wrap it a different way or just
you just have
do
to
whatever.
Love it.
Yeah. But like when I started out like knitting garments,
those sometimes have to fit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, like most Icelandic people, I started with doing a lopapeysa.
Yeah.
But they are really easy, and if your tension is okay, it's just it's really, really easy to. The measurements in the patterns are really, it's not that hard to follow. But then I started, like, I did some really, like, one of the most boring projects that I've ever done. It was done in like 2 plies of plötulopi, all in black, like no color. Yeah, like no color on, I think, 5mm needles, like a top down raglan. I think I did a bottom up though. Yeah, it was like a bottom up, raglan sleeves, and a hood. So boring.
Yeah.
So boring. And I didn't really know the guy well that I was doing it for, but he like asked me and paid me and blah, blah, blah.
Lesson learned. Don't knit for other people.
Yeah. And then he put it in the washing machine.
No. That stuff felt like that.
And it was like this big.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like,
off the list.
Never again. So, yeah. But I had to do a lot of fiddling around because I wasn't following a pattern.
Yeah.
I was just doing what he asked me to do.
Yeah.
So I had to rip back a few times. And I remember when I started, I was like,
it'll be fine.
It looks a little big, but he wasn't that big. He was just like a normal dude.
That's the first whisper of the knit know-it-all wizard. Is like it's not usually a strong like this is terrible or you should make a different choice. It's just like a tiny little thought. They're like, oh, well, this is just a little bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably okay. And sometimes it is. Sometimes,
it depends on what it depends on what you're working on.
Yeah. Like I had that with one of my first sweaters. I'm like, oh, it's just a little big. I'll just keep going. And then you like keep knitting and you're like, oh, well, I've only done the yoke and I've used 800 yards. That's a little excessive, but I don't know. It'll be oversized.
I'm a big boy.
And then you keep going and like 3, 4, 5, like a week later, you have to go buy more yarn and you try it on. Like, oh, I was knitting a circus tent, I guess. And that was my intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No. I think if that voice like comes back for like 2 or 3 days in a row,
you gotta listen to it.
Yeah, you should definitely like pause.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like put it on bigger needles, try it on. You know, think about what.
Show it to a friend.
Yeah.
Like get some opinions.
Call Linda.
I'll give you her number. I'm like, what should I do? Because normally.
Help me.
It's with knitting and with like life in general. Like if you have to ask, like you know the answer, but you just want to hear yes or no
from somebody else.
Yeah, that's the case with the wizard.
Yeah.
Common sense. Yeah.
You're gonna be so happy with it when it's done now.
Yeah. And I know like the proportions now, so I know I know how big it's gonna be ish. Not exactly still. So stay tuned if I have another moment of, what do I do?
Oh no!
No, I think it's going to be really great.
Yo.
I can't wait to see this one, this neutral.
I know.
Because mine is like all the colors and speckles, bright red for the border, and this will be the main color pop, and then just all these grays and beiges. Oh, so nice.
These are like only a few. I can't hold all of them up at the same time.
We need some more mohair, I think.
Yeah.
Little mohair accents.
Yeah. But these are like definitely Linda colors that Stephen picked out for me.
I know her. I knew you would like that.
Yeah. So should we throw it back in here?
Yeah. Yeah, I love like picking out palettes just in general, but it's even more fun like at my shop when I'm helping customers pick something out. You get that satisfaction of like you could be starting a project, but someone else is getting the yarn and starting it. But I especially like it when I know someone's like color vibe and style, or like what they like to wear. And then when you pick out a palette, like I would still make that myself too, but it makes it even more special, and I get more into it when I know these particular colors are like gonna sing.
Yeah.
In your
kind of like when I was doing this. Yeah. And you brought that green that really made the sweater what it is.
Yes, and that's why I love yarn. Because if the color isn't your absolute favorite, it's gonna be somebody's favorite. So sometimes I'll knit with a little bit and then pass it along to different friends.
Yeah.
You're like, you need to knit with this too. We gotta share the love.
Yeah, I got this one from you. It's blended with mohair here, but it's a yellowy. I think it was a potluck color from Hedgehog. Or is this the green? Let me see. Yeah, this yellow. Where is it?
There's only like 40 colors in there. Why is it so hard to find?
This one.
Yeah, that golden. So pretty.
Yeah. Like that one and the green Hedgehog color here that you gave me for the sweater are like two of my favorite colors that I've knit with ever.
Yeah, I have those like a few like treasure skeins too. And sometimes you just save them forever. And if you're okay with that, fine. Like just collect them and have them. But it's more fun to like move with those color moods. Like break into that favorite skein. Like that could be a nice challenge. Like to even like this week, like take the favorite color that you've been like saving for months or years and put it in your project or start a project with it. That's kind of scary. If it's like
I'm thinking about the two Hedgehog skeins that I showed you.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're so good. But yeah, if you have that like favorite one that you've been saving, because it can be scary, but once it's like purging or like getting rid of all your stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you're moving or whatever, you're like cleansing, because it makes room for new.
But I kind of know what I want to use it for. Those two.
Yeah, that's an exception, I'd say.
So
you've got to clear.
I'm kind of saving it for when I have time, basically.
Yeah, when it has the right funds.
Yeah.
That's another reason why like collecting yarn is so fun. Because some people collect it to like functionally like use it and like make a project. You're done, get new yarn, But I just love the accumulating these color combinations. And then when it like clicks, you like knit them all up.
Yep.
And then while you're knitting, these new things are coming in. I just love that flow of inspiration.
Yeah.
That we get with going to yarn shops and festivals and
festivals. I'm getting excited about going to more festivals in the future.
Yes. Yeah, there's some nice ones popping up. Yeah, the next one I'm going to is Finland in July. And Jyväskylä.
Jyväskylä?
Yeah, it's like Jyväskylä and probably a couple other vowels and like tons of dots over the word.
Yeah.
Jyväskylä Knit Festival. Yeah. It's in July, like middle of July. That Stephen and Penelope is going with a booth.
Are you having classes as well?
A couple. Yeah, just a couple, and then mostly I'll be at the booth. So it's a nice.
Have you done that festival before? Or yeah?
Yeah, it's really nice, very cozy in a smaller town, like a few hours away from Helsinki. But what I like about the smaller ones is like they're not massive in a convention center, so they're like real concentrated in like the specific style that we love. Like lots of hand-dyed yarn, like all people going there are knitting these really interesting patterns. So it's like really focused in like the people who knit who like that's their lifestyle. There's probably not many people coming to that festival that are like, oh, I heard it was this weekend.
Yeah.
I just thought I would see what's going on. It's like, no, these people are planning months in advance to come.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Edinboro is like that. Like people that go to Edinboro Yarn Festival, like are there to shop and get inspired and knit gorgeous things. Yeah. Yeah, it's really amazing.
Oh God, I loved being there.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Yeah, just meeting all the people and helping people pick yarn. I could do that all day, every day, for the rest of my life, I think.
Yarn curator.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
Because sometimes it's clear that you're helping someone pick out for a palette and putting colors together. Like sometimes it's really obvious what they like.
Yeah.
Like if they're wanting to make a shawl and what they're wearing is like blue and gray and green and like everything coordinates with that.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to take like shocking purple and be like, is this what you like? It's like, no, they like silver, blue, and green.
Yeah.
Like that's it. So it's like fun to get that focus with somebody.
Yeah, but I met a few people. There were a few people that came up to me and like, okay, I usually like this is usually my palette, but I saw like this sample or this sample, and I kind of want to go like outside the box, but not too much. So you'd be like picking out their palette, but like adding a little bit to it.
Yeah, something they wouldn't normally. Yeah, that's fun to do, especially if they're willing.
Yeah, they were
try.
Like, "Can you help me?"
I
because
really want to do something that I don't normally.
I always end up like with the same. So can you like push me a little bit, like outside of my box? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. What do you like?
And you're good at that because you do knit with lots of different. Like you do greens and blues. You do yellows and oranges a lot.
Yeah.
Like you do like experience the range of colors.
Yeah.
And if people are like wanting to baby step into something they don't always do, my go-to advice for that is like don't go from A to Z.
No.
Like that's scary.
Yeah.
Like I want to do something different. I feel like I should. So instead of blue and green, I'm gonna knit like all pink and purple and put sparkles in it. Like, slow down. Okay, like fasten your seatbelt and like check your mirror.
Yeah.
Like be careful.
Yeah.
You don't have to jump that fast. Like
no.
Yeah, put some those guard rails around your trampoline.
Yeah.
Like don't go flying off.
Yeah.
So like baby steps is like a different color, but like mix in lots of neutrals with it.
Yeah.
Or do something you love, but just one or two colors to take it a little different.
Those were like my favorite customers. They were like, I need a little push. And then they kept like going back and you would like, it was like fishing. Like,
how about this? Oh, no, a little bit. What about this?
And then they ended up like, I love this. Yes, I'm going to take it. And yeah, that was like really rewarding. And like,
Yeah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I have also had to help him pick out colors. I love it, but it's like, oh my gosh. So people, like, I've had this happen in some shops or visits, or like, I want to try something really different. Like, I want you to pick it out. And like, I can see like what they're wearing and what they have made. I'm like, okay, like I get it. Like, I know what you love right away.
Yeah.
Like mermaid vibes, like all those jewel tones.
Yeah.
So I would like recommend something completely different, and then the opposite of the like, oh, okay, I'll try it is, no, that's too different. Or like, okay, well, how about this? This is different from what I think you'd normally.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I like that. I don't.
And
So then I'll like look at like what their shirt is and just grab the exact colors, like about orange and purple and pink. You always do those. And just maybe a little bit brighter pink. Oh, I love that. That's, how did you know? It's everything you're wearing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is like, I don't care about any of that. Like, if you love the colors, like, just
if you love what you're
it.
doing, just
Even if like, well, like Chantal, she knits a lot with yellow. She's branching out a bit, but like, knit with yellow your whole life. Like, or like pick one color you love and like knit everything that color.
Yeah.
If you love gray, like make everything in shades of gray. That'd be gorgeous.
Have your brand color.
Yeah. Yeah, just knit what you love. Knit what you love. It's your life. I don't care. Do what you want.
Do what you like.
It's your yarn.
Yeah. Are you doing any more festivals this year? Or just taking it easy?
I'm taking it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Another one in Finland coming up, but not totally locked in official. I'll be making that announcement for sure later. But there's one in Denmark called the Knit and Jazz Festival that I haven't been to.
Knit and Jazz?
I think it's in September.
Is it knitting and music? Or
I hope so. I think so. I'm pretty sure. Because I saw a post from it last year and it looked really fun in Denmark. Knit and Jazz Festival. And it looked like beautiful displays, lots of Westknit shawls. So they asked me to come. I said yes. So I'm going to go and do classes and meet Danish knitters, which sometimes I'm scared going to. I've been there now, so I'm not scared anymore. But coming to Iceland and going to Finland, but pretty much all the Nordic areas is very intimidating because knitters are very like skilled, I think. And this happened the most strongly in Finland, where like I went to teach a class and they knew, I felt like they knew everything, but they're very quiet. Like the vibe in Denmark and Finland, like a little more quiet, a little more reserved. Where in America, like, you know, if someone like loves or hates something, like they'll tell you. But there, they just like listen, and I was like showing them short rows. And like, oh, check this out! Like, you just stop your row and turn and go the other way, and it builds up this one side of your knitting. And they're like, yeah, we know 10 different ways to do that. What's your point? I'm like, okay.
What are you trying to teach me here?
Just skip all the instructions of this handout. Let's try something different. And there was also one place in Finland, I was teaching a color class. And they were like having fun with color. And then like someone asked to do brioche. I'm like, well, this isn't a brioche class. Like, you can't just like, I can't just teach that. Like, but then she said that, and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I want to try it too. Or like, I've done it in one color before, but we haven't done it in 2 colors. So I'm like, okay, like I'll talk it out and maybe you try and see if you get it. I literally spent like 1 minute explaining, like,
and they were all doing it.
Yeah. Without a pattern or anything. I'm like, now I know. Because people in those countries, they learn when they're itty bitty. So they're not.
We learn in school.
Taught to like follow a pattern word for word. It's like, you knit a sock. Like, you just knit a sock. Like, how do you knit a sock?
You just knit it.
You just knit it.
You just make like.
But I want a lace sock. Okay, then put a lace pattern in that sock and make it look like lace. On your foot.
Are we all that serious as well? Then just knit the boo.
I want to knit a crop top with a button band and puffy sleeves and a Fair Isle stitch pattern somewhere. Just, okay, I'll whip that out. Just do it. Where in most other places, it's like, get a pattern to do that.
Yeah.
But you follow patterns here as well, but
Yeah.
there's like a common, like if you're knitting a jumper, like people know how to knit a sweater.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think most knitters that I know that. Mm-hmm. But I also think some people, I mean, there's a huge change now. There's like a huge shift with all the new like yarn stores and dyers and stuff here in Iceland. It used to be just like we had Lopi. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
That's been a huge change.
Huge.
Even since I've been coming here, like 8 years ago was my first trip. Yeah. Like from what knitting's like in this country today versus less than a decade ago is like night and day. Yeah. Like there's still the beautiful Lopi sweaters and the lace. And
that will never ever go away.
I hope not.
Oh, it will never go away.
But now, like with all, there's even Icelandic hand dyers and yarns being imported, and just the idea of customizing patterns and doing your own thing with them. Yeah. And like these different color styles.
Like popping up and designing. And not only designing for like the Lopi magazines, which are great and perfect. And a lot of people do both. Like they design both for the Lopi magazines and then they do their own thing. Like make a fabulous shawl or some sock patterns or whatever. There's a lot of like growth and like adventurism going on, I think. It's really nice.
Yeah. And I think you can see it here even more like strongly because the community is so like tight and so small compared to other countries.
It's tiny. I mean, it's like in the Reykjavik area, like the Reykjavik and the surrounding towns, it's like 200 and something thousand people, and there are 300 plus thousand
and the
whole
most
island.
Knitters per capita. Yeah, like anywhere.
Yeah, like by far.
Yeah, like crazy amount. So if something happens or like people get to know about something here, like I felt that since I started coming and sharing designs, and then like a couple years later would like start seeing them in the street. Yeah, that never happens anywhere. Like maybe at a knitting show, but like in a cafe, like today. Yeah. And yesterday. Yeah. Someone knitting a project or wearing it.
Yeah. Like, I remember last summer when you were here, you asked me, like we had just gotten to know each other like personally, like about a year ago. Yeah. Yeah. And you asked me like, Linda, is the Vertices Unite craze in Iceland all your fault? And I was like, possibly.
And that's I think really common for something to happen here. Like you knit it, like you made 2 or you made more than 1.
I've made 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, and she probably like told a couple friends when she was starting it, and then like posting on the groups and everything. So like someone sees it, someone shares it with someone else starts it. So it's like a super micro version of like what happens on Ravelry when a pattern is shared and people knit it and go to their knit groups and share it.
And I always encourage people to sign up on Ravelry and like just go on Ravelry. That's the place to know everything that's to know about knitting and like get all the patterns and everything. And if people ask me like, I want to like, I've never knitted anything by Stephen West. What should I do? I always recommend Vertices Unite.
Vertices Unite.
Always.
Who doesn't like Vertices United? It's like simple garter stitch, but a fun construction. Yeah. And like pick any 5 colors you like, and they're gonna look good.
I did a Kimbo. And then I did Boneyard.
Those are oldies.
I know. I'm old.
I've been with you since the beginning.
And
did you make those when they like came out?
A long time ago.
Because that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Thank you for sticking around.
You're welcome.
That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I think.
Because a lot of people made those first little ones. Yeah. But I don't seem like it's not as common that people knit those early ones now because there's so many new bigger ones.
I did a Kimbo out of like Kampgat, you know, and I did the Boneyard shawl out of Noro sock yarn.
Yeah,
turned out beautiful. Yeah. And that was like, okay, I mean, they're both pretty basic, but I wanted to like explore other shapes as well. And then you came out with a versus Unite, like a summer knit along thing. Like, yeah. And yeah, I think I did most of the ones you did that summer. Yeah. I've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah. And some of them like over and over again.
I like reknitting
I've done
stuff.
3 of these.
Yeah. If you're gonna knit anything over and over again, like I don't know, either a simple sweater pattern and just do different colors. But yeah, basically anything that has like 4 or 5 colors in it is really fun to reknit.
Yeah.
Because you do a different palette and it's a totally different shawl.
I especially like it with shawls and hats and like accessories. I'm not a huge fan of like making the same sweater.
Yeah, because that's a lot.
I mean, it's a big commitment, kind of. But some sweaters I can imagine doing again, like we were talking about.
I want to make another one of
this
those.
one. I mean, I've used it so much, and yeah.
And this is one, like you made this for the Westknits Best Knits 2 book, and then I don't know if maybe there were a couple people here that made it like soon after the pattern came out, but then you did a class on it, and like 7 people, or something,
7 or 8 people,
yeah. I'm sure that's gonna spread like a lot of other people, because they've like Haldura, who was in the cafe, like if I saw that gorgeous like thing she was wearing, like, and I was a knitter, like I would knit that right away. It's just like crazy unique. So I'm sure she'll get all her friends to knit it. But yeah, just throw a ball of yarn in the street and it's gonna hit a knitter here. Like,
basically.
Oh,
sorry.
That would be a fun test to like go down the main street and just like throw balls of yarn, and then like half the people walking would be knitters. And be like, oh my gosh, this is really special stuff. And the other half of the people would be like, what is going on here?
Can we take a photo?
Yeah,
that happens a lot. If we're like coffee knitting outside, especially in the summer, and people are like walking past, they're like, can we take your photo?
There's always the curious visitors, and then they'll get like a handful of like hardcore knitters that are like, oh, you're making the such and such with such and such yarn. I see. I'm like, who are you? How do you know this?
When I was in Seattle in October, I went to the KXP radio station, and I was like watching an Icelandic band perform live, and I was like sitting in a booth, and there was this lady sitting next to me, and she was like, isn't this the Marled Magic sweater? And I was like, yeah. She was like, I'm making one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, do you want to try this one on?
Cool. Oh my gosh, that's so random.
It was like in Seattle. I was like, hello.
Yeah, that's not very common over there, but at KEXP they do lots of Icelandic collaborations and such.
Yeah, she wasn't Icelandic though. She worked at KEXP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like never happens anywhere else outside of Iceland. That's like super special.
Yeah.
Knitting, bringing the world together.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah. I think we're gonna make pizza.
Yeah, and knit, because this is the most amount of time we haven't knitted like all week.
It feels kind of strange.
What is this?
What are we supposed to do with our hands? I've been like sitting on my hands a lot.
Yeah.
But I have my knitting. Oh
yeah, show your Penguono. She's almost done joining the Penguono posse.
Okay, this is the back. Can you see it? Yeah.
Hello, mermaid. Hello, ocean. Hello, unicorn.
Yeah. And
with the alpaca, the brushed alpaca.
Yeah.
Ching fiber alpaca.
And this is the front. Yeah.
What yarns aren't in there?
Loppe. There's no loppe.
No. Aww. But yeah, there's even pom-poms. This is my favorite. Yeah. This pom-pom yarn with Ching fiber balala. That's a color like, I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what balala is? It sounds like an island to me. Or it could just be like...
That's Bali.
Oh, cool. Dummy.
Yeah. Balala.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't been there. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Balala. I think so.
I want to go to Bali and knit on the beach.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
We have a lot of knitting travel plans.
Yeah, I'll still be there with like my alpaca and wool, like knitting a sweater coat, like in the like hot 30-degree sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, under an umbrella, but it'll be pretty. I'll be knitting my woolly sweater on the beach. Yeah.
A little sweaty, but
yeah, just sweat splice the yarns together. Use your environment.
You. Okay. Icelandic lesson before we say goodbye?
Oh yeah, let's learn like an Icelandic.
Okay. What do you want to learn how to say?
How to say, well, I don't even know if I know how to say yarn. I know Priona. I'll teach you guys Icelandic. Priona is knitting. Yarn. Garn.
Yeah.
Garn. Okay. Knitting. Priona. Garn. Yarn. And what about... how would you say Westknits are the best knits in Icelandic? It probably doesn't rhyme.
No.
So just say Westknits
it's gonna be like really long and like something like Westknits eru bestu prjónin.
I don't like that.
No.
Westknits are
it doesn't
it doesn't roll off the tongue.
No. But like we talked about yesterday slétt og brugðið.
Is that knitting and purling?
Knitting and purling.
Slétt
is like
slétt.
Knitting.
Knitting slétt.
Brugðið. It's purling.
Fluent.
And brioche. Klukkuprjón.
Yeah, klukkuprjón. Klukkuprjón.
And the klukka is also watch.
Oh, okay. Klukkuprjón. Klukk is watch, but brioche is klukkuprjón. I might start saying that. Because whenever you say brioche, people think about bread, the people that don't knit. I don't talk to them much, but sometimes. But
you can also like have classes in klukkuprjón. People will be like, oh, it's like something new, something I haven't heard from.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a brioche class.
Yeah. Yeah, because now a lot of people have tried it and heard about it and seen it. But yeah, if you do some klukkuprjón classes, ooh, what is this Icelandic?
Very interesting.
It looks very nice.
Yeah.
Fancy. How do you say fancy in Icelandic? Fint. Fint.
Flott.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Flott.
Mjög flott.
Mjög flott.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna make pizza. Or I'm gonna make pizza.
I'm gonna knit.
Yeah.
And put toppings on the pizza, I guess. Yeah. So if you're watching this now, it's not live, but you are alive watching it, I hope. And you can watch all Linda's previous podcasts. Is this number 9?
10?
10? What? You just started like last week.
I know.
10 podcasts. So check out her earlier ones because they're really nice. And if I may, just compliment you. I really like your podcast because it's so like
I like you.
Thank you. Flott. Fancy. Oh, good for something. But yeah, it's really nice because like you just talk and tell stories and have a really nice demeanor, and it feels like you're hanging out with you, and you're on an island away from so many other people and countries. So it's cool to get to listen
I'm
to
lonely.
that.
No.
The podcast is just a cry for somebody to hang out and listen to me. There's nobody on this island except 300,000 sheep. No, it's really nice. So check out her previous podcasts and follow her and see all the rest because there's going to be some cool things that she'll be knitting and sharing with you knitting kittens out there.
I'll be sharing them as long as, as soon as I'm allowed to.
Oh, yeah. There's some secret ones that are already finished, but she'll share. You'll hear about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Bless.
Bless. Bye.